Rough Edge FM. Irritatingly irresistible internet radio at roughedgefm.com.
From the land of lemons, magic, and neighbors who still wave, it's Voices of the Valley. Join hosts Jim and John as they shine a spotlight on local businesses, city council news, community events, and all the colorful characters that make the Santa Clara River Valley feel like home. From Santa Paula to Fillmore and Peru, this is your hometown podcast, Voices of the Valley.
Oh my God, I was going to make an announcement and I can't do it.
No, we got some issues today.
Oh, holy cow.
Not only did we miss a week, but...
I know, I was going to do my radio voice like, and welcome to, but I was like, ooh, that hurt.
So explain to the audience what happened.
Okay, so my wife, Julie, is works with another gal and they do musical theater for the youth.
Mm-hmm.
And this time they are doing Peter Pan.
Okay.
And so I discovered that you need, in order to fly, you have to have pixie dust and happy thoughts. And apparently I didn't have either, because I tried to fly off the stage and I belly flopped on the floor from a 4-foot stage.
It's a lot of pixie dust we need for you.
A lot of pixie dust. So allow me to explain.
Okay.
So I volunteer and I do the lights and the sound for them.
Yeah.
And Peter Pan was up there and they had muted the mic. So, which I got to figure that one out, because the kids are forever hitting the buttons, muting the mics, and they come out. We do a whole mic check. They come out and they're like,
yeah.
I'm like, oh my God.
Yeah.
I just tested them.
You need a lock on it.
Something.
Yeah.
So Peter Pan's mic wasn't on, and I'm like, they can't go through the whole first part of the show without a mic.
Yeah.
So they did a quick blackout, and I ran up on the stage and I unmuted the mic, and then I proceeded to come off the stage. Now, in fairness to me, I found out that they had there was a wedding and they sprayed something and it caused the floor to be really slippery up there. But when I had the mic in the back, I was raising the volume to try to figure out why I'm not hearing them. Well, I forgot to mute on the board. So when I unmuted her, it started to feedback. So I panicked, because you know how it is. That feedback's just going to keep going and going, and it's going to get louder and louder until it blows the speakers. So I ran across the stage and I went to go down the stairs and I missed my footing and I ended up flying off the stage. Well, I got audience right there. So I pushed myself sideways to try to avoid the audience. And in doing so, you know, I had injured my knee. I told you about that story about going to the home and injuring my knee, right? So all I could think about is don't land on my knee. So when I did land, I had so much forward momentum that I landed on my right leg, which I then kind of pushed myself off because I was falling forward, which then launched me into a Superman pose, which I then belly flopped on the floor and bruised all the ribs on my right side. And so when I breathe and cough and burp and all that good stuff, it hurts a lot.
Yeah, I bet. So you can't sing right now.
No, and to top it all off, I had 2 shows. One on today's Wednesday, right?
Yeah.
So I think I had one on Monday and one on Wednesday.
So it involves a lot of movement and stuff. So how are you able to?
Oh, I'm doing the shackles behind my back and escaping from that, and
wow.
Yeah. So what I discovered. So this happened to me when I shattered my elbow. How did I shatter my elbow? Oh, my son pushed me out the back of a truck.
I'm starting to see a trend there.
Yeah, I know. So we were on a truck with a Tommy lift, and we were doing a fundraiser, and we were loading some stuff from a storage unit into the truck. And I thought the Tommy lift was up and extended the entire width of the bumper, but it didn't extend the entire width of the bumper. So when I went to go step back onto the Tommy lift, there was no Tommy lift. So I fell from a 4-foot truck, or from a 4-foot height, onto the concrete, shattering my elbow.
4 feet is not your friend.
4 feet is not a good thing. Anyone who tells you it was only 4 feet, punch them.
4 feet's pretty high.
Yeah, 4 feet, especially when you're falling flat, free fall.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. And then you don't know how to land. And you're
No, you're not bracing yourself.
Yeah.
You're just going.
Yeah.
And so one of the things when I would do after when I was finally healed and I was able to do close up again, I had to before my shows, I had to take my arm and do this because every time I did that, it shot a shooting pain up my arm. And so I would do it and I'd be like, ooh, you know, kind of thing. So before I'd perform, I'd sit there and I'd do this so I could feel the pain. So that way, when I actually was performing, I knew the pain that I was going to feel so I could kind of absorb it, you know, and work through it. And so the same thing with these shows, you know, it's like, okay, I'm aware of the pain. And so now I'm just going to work through it. Yeah.
Dude,
Plus, adrenaline does an amazing thing for.
once you get going, you're fine.
Yeah.
I think that's like anything. When you hurt yourself,
And then you stop, and it's like.
It's the after when you relax and everything kind of calms down. It's like,
Yeah.
oh, it's like somebody punched you in the ribs there.
Yeah, because and by the way, I did end up landing on my knee anyways, because when I fell, the force of my falling caused my knees to go.
But messed up your knee, messed up your ribs, messed up with your ego.
So I was in the emergency room on Saturday morning because my knee was bothering me so much, and my ankles had swelled up big time. Well, I was doing the State of the City video, and I spent so many hours sitting straight or standing, but not moving.
Yeah.
And so I was snacking a lot. So I found out that I had like 500% more salt than what I should have for the daily average. And because I wasn't really moving, my ankles swelled up big time.
It all goes down.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Huge. And so I went to the emergency room because my ankle was swelled and my knee was hurting me. So they checked that whole thing out, told me what to do. And then the very next day I'm back in the emergency room because I decided to fly without pixie dust and happy thoughts.
My God. So I want to know, is there a video?
Yeah. You know how many people ask me that? Almost like everybody I tell this to, please tell me they have a video.
If they're the parent filming it,
oh my God,
that would be classic.
Yeah,
you know.
I gotta find out. I gotta make that announcement at the next show tomorrow and say. So who was here at the show on the first show that we did on Sunday?
Yeah.
And did you by any chance happen to have a video of my flying?
Because if you're able to get your hands on that and post that,
oh my God,
people would look at that and watch that and just, you know, you might get somebody to post it on one of those America's Funniest Home Videos or something. Maybe win some money.
Except normally they say, "Oh, nobody was hurt during this video."
Wow. Yeah.
For me, they can say nobody was seriously hurt.
Exactly.
So it's funny because I was doing. We had this thing called the X-Pod, and it was a game thing that we designed where we had 4 Xboxes in a cube, and then we had these seats that came off of that center base. And it formed an X, but it could have 4 players competing against each other and all this kind of stuff. Well, in the process of assembling that, I was using a nail gun, finishing nail, and so I was holding the wood. However, I do that. I was holding the wood, and I was shooting into the board. Well, the nail curved, and it came out my thumb, so it went right through the bottom of my thumb and right through my fingernail. So when I saw it, I thought the nail came and scraped across my thumb like this, not that it went through. So when I went to go move my finger, I couldn't move my finger. I went, oh crap, it went right through. So I pulled my finger off the nail. And you know what my first thought was? Should have taken a picture. I wonder if I mean, the hole's still there. Could I put it back through? I actually thought about putting it back in so that I could at least take a picture, but I couldn't do it. So if they didn't film this, maybe I could replicate it, but I'm hurting right now too much.
Wow. We got to put you in a bubble.
Yeah. Wrap me up in bubble wrap.
Exactly. Man, you got to take it easy.
Yeah.
You're not spring chicken anymore.
Oh, my God.
It's not that you can't, it's the recovery time, though, too. I mean, you're 30 years younger, probably recover in a couple days. Still a little painful, but at our age, the recovery is 10 times as long as it should be.
So I did a senior magic show.
Okay.
And I did a magic show. Well, I did do 2 senior magic shows. One was for senior high school graduates, and the other was for seniors. And it was funny because I come out and I say, "Hi, my name is James Lantine. I got some really exciting news to share with you. I have just been voted best magician of the year." And so everybody's like, "Oh, yay!" Oh, yeah. And I say, I know it's something I'm super proud of. It was at the Lantine family reunion, and and I told that joke. Everybody was like, "Oh," and then I said, "Yes, I'm so proud. It was at the Lantine family reunion, and it was like crickets. Nobody got the joke." Yeah,
never heard of that before.
I know. So I left there thinking they're all thinking that, wow, we just saw this magician and he was voted magician of the year. And
yeah, you might get that.
Yeah.
So,
but
well, I'm glad you're still doing shows, being that you're injured.
Too. Oh yeah, well, got to do what you got to do.
Yeah, exactly.
Unfortunately for those, there's not a lot of choice.
No, you have to do it. So was that the senior luncheon?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. I was thinking when I was in the emergency room was that, what if they decide like they're gonna hold me over or something, or and I thought, I'd have to check myself out. I'd be like, no, sorry, I can't do it. I got on Monday, I got this too many commitments. And but I would have probably walked out of the hospital against their orders.
Probably you would have.
Yeah.
But yet again, is it worth it?
I don't know. Performing the magic and
I mean,
man, I got my
you're
my eyes are droopy.
You're overworked. You're tired. You're injured.
I look tired.
You're injured.
I got bags under my eyes
because you're not being able to rest, probably because of your injury.
Oh yeah, I'm sleeping on my back.
Yeah, exactly. If you're not used to that,
yeah.
So,
but I'm squinty.
Pace yourself.
I think.
Yeah.
I might have some Asian in me. No?
I don't want to go down there right now. No. Anyway, you just look tired. Wow. Okay.
I like the Asians. They're good at everything.
I like everybody. So,
I actually told that as a joke. I said it was a Rubik's Cube. So Rubik's Cube, the Rubik's Cube champion was a little Asian, like 10-year-old boy. 3.4 seconds or something like that to solve a Rubik's Cube.
It's crazy what they could do.
Yeah. And I said, man, I hate Asians. They're like good at everything. And somebody actually thought that was a racist remark. And I'm like, well, no, it was a compliment.
Yeah, but that can be taken
that
way too. So
I don't say they hate, because to me it was like it's like, oh man, they're good at everything. And I mean, it's not like I don't hate them. I mean, it's just, but they are really good. And a lot of it is their culture and the way that they're raised. I mean, they take on a craft or some type of artistic type thing, man. They are like on it.
Well, a lot of them, they bring them up from when they're young, and they have to do that. Where I think here we do some of it, but it's not as, I don't want to say stricter, but it just, I think you're right.
There's a discipline to it.
A discipline to it. So,
it's like Shin Lim on AGT when he comes out and he's doing his final thing that he won for the grand champion or whatever. And he comes out and he's like, Yeah, I was studying to be a concert pianist, and then he sits at a piano,
Mhm.
and he said, "But I had to give it up because I was developing carpal tunnel syndrome." And all of a sudden, you hear him on the piano, doing all this kind of stuff, and you're like, "Shut up! Come on!" Even a normal person can't. Even somebody who's been taking lessons for 20 years can't play like that.
Just get it that way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then look at your magic. It's like just as incredible. Poor you.
Well, he's committed his time to doing all that, and maybe that's all he does.
Oh, yeah.
So
Yeah.
doesn't have a lot of other distractions or things going on, So yeah.
We have a couple of kids that we're teaching that are like that. They just spend 5 to 8 hours a day practicing. There's an 8-year-old kid.
Yeah.
I believe they have some Polynesian ancestry in them, or whatever, for DNA or whatever you want to call it. Because it's like I call him Agent K, because I can't. It's like Kevokian or whatever. Somebody has to tell me it, and then I can remember. But he's 8 years old, and the kid is phenomenal with a deck of playing cards. Phenomenal. He's got these tiny little hands, and he's doing things that you're going, your hands can't hide that. How are you doing that? And he's doing it. And he spends 5 to 8 hours a day practicing with those cards. I used to call him Special K, but then I found out there was a drug, Special K, so I call him Agent K now.
Very careful to say nowadays, man. People take offense to.
Oh, I know.
Very easily now.
Yeah.
But anyway, okay.
So
Enough about you and your.
Well, I know
attempt to
that was half the show.
So.
We had the State of the City in Santa Paula last week, which is what started my ailments, because I spent a considerable amount of time on their video. However, I will say that video was a smashing hit.
I was there. I attended it, and I remember seeing the early version of it, and what the finished version was just outstanding. I mean, I was watching that. I was just like, man, he freaking knocked it out of the park. That was good.
You like the little Mr. Mason thing?
Yeah, that was one of the biggest laughs I got. And
yeah.
I think that lightened up what they were talking about, and when it was done, everybody felt good about the community. What was going on, because it showed a little more personal side to the city staff.
Yeah.
More so than council. I think it was seeing people that they don't regularly see, and actually showing a little bit of who they really are made a difference. And it was really, really good though. I mean, the whole event was good. It was short. Mayor Carlos
under an hour.
Yeah, he gave like a 9-minute speech, which was great. I mean, you see that, was it a few years ago? It was like a 20-some minute.
Yeah.
And it's just too much. So he was very aware of that and made it a short 9-minute presentation. And then I think the video was longer than his presentation.
Video is 15 minutes long.
Yeah. So his thing was 9 minutes. So they pretty much showed everything with less than 30 minutes. And it was just really good. They said the whole program was an hour maybe, and everybody spent a lot more time networking and doing that than they actually did with the program, which I just thought it was probably the best one I've been either a part of or been involved with since that I can remember. Yeah.
So the one thing that yes, AI was used in the music,
but that's okay,
for the record.
Yeah.
But the words that were sung were written by me.
Yeah.
So I went in and I wrote everything that I knew about Santa Paula, or what I believe Santa Paula to be. And then I put it into the music creator, naming it that the theme was working together for you. And it took all those words and came up with that song.
Yeah.
And so it was really tricky, because I wanted during the breaks. So when it was transitioning from one department to another, in that transition, I wanted it to say working together for you. I wanted it to sing that part of it.
Because it popped up on the screen. I think the words popped up,
Yeah.
in between the things in
Yeah.
the presentation. Yeah.
And so it took a lot of tweaking to because I had to cut the song in a certain way to get it to where those lyrics were at that point. And then I had to paste it so that it didn't sound like a weird jump when they, when it to match it up. And so it was a pretty tricky concept, but the song I thought was so powerful that when I finished, the only thing anyone ever heard was Working Together for You.
Yeah.
And so then I was like, I'm going to do a little montage. And so I stripped out, there were several verses and everything. The song was about 3 minutes long. And so I was able to strip it down to the opening and then one verse and one chorus or something like that. So I stripped it so that it ended up being about a minute. And then I did a montage to that so that people could actually hear the words of the song. And that's how it ended. And then there was a weird cut at the end because Dan Singer says, "Buckle up, Santa Paula. This year is going to be great," or something like that. And for whatever reason, the video didn't render the whole thing. It just rendered "Buckle up, Santa Paula."
Yeah. So I don't know what
it was. I mean, it was okay because at least it got the "Buckle up, Santa Paula," but it would have been a little bit more impactful if. Yeah.
By that time, they were all feeling good about everything.
Yeah.
People don't.
I just knew it because I knew what was supposed to come at the end.
People don't realize how much time it takes to do all that.
I had over 60. I think it was 64 hours in putting that 15 minutes together.
Yeah. So it shows you like when people do videos or even movie making, which you've been part of.
Yeah.
To get putting music to it and stuff. It's all about your timing and making sure it's, the music, certain parts of the music are in certain areas, and that takes a lot of time.
Well, and the transition, like if you're going from one picture to another, getting it to happen on the beat of the music instead of it just willy-nilly,
you could have just played the music and just kept going.
Yeah, just transitioned it any way I wanted to.
Which I've seen that before. It's horrible.
Yeah.
So,
it doesn't feel good when you do that.
It's very choppy and just like, so. But you did a good job. That was probably one of your best works that I've seen so far.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Even if you're,
I have a few of them that.
Once in a while, you can step up and but no, very impressive. I was very impressed.
So it's estimated at about when you bid this stuff out, you figure that it's about 3 to 4 hours per minute of video that it takes to edit.
Yeah, that's conservative. I think sometimes.
Yeah,
depending on how integral.
How many cameras and yeah.
So that's. I mean, I thought it was for what the hours you said. That's fair.
Yeah,
but that was a lot of work.
Well, they hum and hawed over what I was billing them,
of course.
And so after the event was done and we got the reaction that we got with the video, I went up to him and I said, "I think the video's worth that much."
I remember I saw you talking about it, and I think he agreed.
Yeah.
So,
but they didn't pay it.
Oh, they didn't pay that up front?
No, they're not going to pay that full amount. So
they have the money to do that. That's part of their economic development money.
Yeah.
Stuff, so it just depends on what bucket they pull from. So
yeah.
Well, hopefully you can work out a deal with them. They can do it over time.
Yeah, I know. We'll do it in installments
and just charge them interest.
I mean, in the reality, in the scheme of things, it wasn't like a lot of money. But to me, it was.
It was the value of what they got for it was well worth it. What you charged them. So.
Yeah, after I finished that product, I was like, I have no qualms. I should have charged double.
Yeah.
In fact, I think if they would have gone to another production company, that had a team and stuff and went out and filmed all that stuff and everything like that, they'd be looking at a good 30 grand, 40 grand.
Oh yeah, easily.
Yeah.
Easily. I know when we did the video or with the State of the City, we did a Moore Park and we just had videos for each sector. And I want to say that was, luckily the gentleman gave it to us fairly cheap, but it was a lot of work and the value was probably like $8,000 to $10,000 worth of it. But I mean, he gave us a cut rate, but he fully priced us, and that was probably about right because he had to add music, do the same thing what you did.
Yeah.
And luckily he gave us a really good break, but it was like for what he could have charged us. I mean, it was well worth it. Anything like that, $10,000, $8,000 to $10,000 is probably about right.
Yeah.
But I think sometimes we undervalue what we do. A lot of times,
I do that a lot.
And hopefully for next year you can charge them a lot. I mean a fair amount, but I mean, you can get the value out of that.
Yeah.
So,
and hopefully next year is planned out early, so we're not doing it on the 11th hour.
It's always going to be that way with changes last minute. That's just the nature of the beast.
But starting the filming earlier and stuff.
Identifying a theme and then just starting to work it from there. And you have a new mayor, you have still the same city manager, so it's going to be hopefully get started maybe in January. Start doing that stuff, and once you figure out the theme's always a tough one.
Yeah.
Getting that.
So we're almost out of time, but before we we have elections coming up in November. And does Fillmore follow the same timeline as far as Santa Paula as to when you have to submit whether or not you're going to run or not?
Yeah, I think it's state mandated.
Okay. And do you know if there's anyone in Fillmore that is running? Are there people that are up?
I don't know how many seats are up, whether it's 2 or 3.
But there are seats that are
seats up. Yeah, they always in any city you'll see they never have it's always either 2 or 3 or 4 or 7 depending on the size of, but they always stagger it.
Right.
So
you don't end up with a totally new council.
I want to say they had 3 2 years ago, so it might be 2 seats that are up.
So they have 5 on council like we do?
Yeah. So like here there's 3 seats up.
Okay.
So
and which districts?
Well, it'll be district numbers, I'm not sure, but it'll be Pedro's district.
Okay. That's at the Harvest
area, and then all south of the freeway. And then Jenny Crosswhite and Carlos are in the same district, so that seat's up, which we know that probably the mayor's not going to rerun. So,
and that's out in the
high school area,
all
up in Oaks,
okay,
all that area. So that's the other district, and then the open district, which is north of Santa Paula Street from Steckel all the way to I think 5th Street, and then up and down Steckel.
Okay.
There. So that's the open district right now. So those are the seats that are available.
And when are the deadlines to file as to whether or not you're going to run?
It's August. It's the first week in August. It's filed, and it all depends. If it's an incumbent running, I guess it extends out a little bit farther, so it's like a week later. But it's usually the first week of August. You have like 30 days to file.
Okay.
So that's kind of what's going on right now. So.
And do we know anybody who's filed at this?
No, they haven't even pulled. You can't pull papers until July 5th.
5th? Okay.
Yeah, so it's the Monday after the 4th.
And is that public record when they pull papers?
Yes. So they'll usually get an announcement of who pulls papers. Like here in town, Peggy Kelly will usually check, and then once she'll even put it in the paper that, hey, such and such pulled papers. Now, just because you pull papers doesn't mean you're going to run. It's just you're pulling to kind of figure out whether you are. It's until you actually file.
Right.
So, but that's happened in the past where there'd be 3 candidates that are pulling papers for one area, and we experienced that, a couple years ago. Tim ran in Leslie Cornejo's district, and so I think it was a couple others that ran too.
Yeah, there are 3 of them in total.
Yeah, so so they all filed. So we'll see if Pedro reruns, and we know I think Jenny's going to rerun. Yeah, she is rerunning. We know the mayor's not running because they're in the same district. So and then we'll see who files for the open district.
So so the mayor's not going to run because he doesn't want to compete against Jenny?
Because he knows she's going to run, and he's been on council for 8 years, and he had committed 2 terms, and so I think he just decided that that's good enough for him because he's got a lot of other projects that he's done. with Optimus, and there's Rotary, there's all the other things.
Yeah, I heard he's really
Yeah.
got something big with Optimus.
He's like a district regional manager or regional.
I think he's
director.
like the California chief.
Yeah, so that takes up a lot of his time.
Yeah.
So, so it's good for him. He keeps expanding and doing different things, and he's put his time in with council.
Yeah.
He's done a good job. So
He's been a good community servant because he's, you know, he did it with the police department and
yeah.
so
And Jenny, what you're going to get with her coming in, and she's been a great councilman too. So interesting to see what happens in the open district.
yeah.
So that'll be interesting. There could be one candidate at least.
Yeah.
That I know of. So
Yeah.
we'll see how that happens.
See if it ends up being a walk-on like the other one.
I doubt if it will. Yeah, I've heard some rumblings that there might be a couple of people that are going to win that district.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
which is good. You want competition, So,
Yeah.
So we'll see.
Yeah, you don't want just walk-ons.
So we'll probably have an announcement maybe in about a month as far as who's running, and we'll see what happens.
Okay.
You never know.
You never know.
know.
A little public service announcement. If you're driving down Telegraph from Ventura, just before Peck, there was a very serious accident. They have the entire road taped off. So you're going to need to, instead of getting off at Briggs and coming into Santa Paula, you're going to want to stay on the 126 to Peck. And if you're trying to get to Telegraph, the west side of Santa Paula, you're going to have to get off at Briggs and then come back around.
Yeah, to a certain point, and they have it blocked off. So,
Yeah.
because there was actually somebody sitting at Briggs, and so I had to go through there, but you had to kind of maneuver your way around it. So
Oh, so they have it blocked off at Briggs?
yeah, and when I went through there, I saw the city was setting up some roadblocks too.
Okay.
So it's going to be a while.
Yeah.
But you can still get in if you're in one of the businesses and
Right.
stuff. So you just can't get to a certain point.
Yeah.
So it's right around the Calava Business Park.
Yeah, I have a feeling that it was a fatality because they have it all taped off, and so it means it's going to be closed for a bit.
It'll be closed at least for probably the rest of the evening the way it's
Yeah.
going right now. So we'll see. So
All right.
Yeah.
Well, welcome back.
yeah. So we got
We've been dark for 2 weeks, right?
so we got this week and then next week and then we had the 4th. So we have 2 shows till the 4th.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we'll get back on track here.
Okay.
And hopefully get you better too.
Oh, yeah. It's the the subtle little burps. It's like oh. and those movements too. Don't do that either.
No. Just sit there.
Yeah.
Sit there.
Anyways, thank you all for listening. This is Voices of the Valley. We'll be back next week.
This has been a Rough Edge Studios production.